grab your red string, your cork board, your magnifying glass, your electric mouse Pokemon, your stoner friend and his Great Dane, whatever you need to solve mysteries. Make sure you have it with you if you're going to go into the Max 2024 original Caddo Lake. I was watching this for about 50 minutes, going, what the fuck is what is happening? What the absolute fuck is going on? Nothing's making sense in this film. And then, almost like I could hear an audible like puzzle piece click, I was like, nicely done. Like I was like, oh wow, that was actually okay, fair enough. And then when I watched the credits, it made even more sense. This is a very twisty film, and then in the credits, it was revealed that this was produced by M. Night Shyamalan, which in itself, to me, was a bit of a twist. And all I could think was, he can't help himself. This man cannot help himself. I feel like I have the same relationship with M. Night as I do with those YouTube videos of people who are always scaring their parents. You know what I mean? Like a film gets me and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that got me. And then I see the credits and I find M. Night's had some fucking hand in it, and I'm like, oh, you little bastard, you got me again. I love you, M. Night, but that is the relationship I have with him. This is like a very trippy little ecological mystery film, and if you like stuff like Shutter Island or Donnie Darko, this slots in nicely with stuff like that, even though it's not got the masterpiece status like those two films have. Also, I like to remind people, because I think people forget, if you like this film, in all of my reviews, I do, especially for like the one movie reviews I do, at the end of the review, I have, if you liked, here are 2 films that you will like if you liked this. So if you did like Caddo Lake and you're looking for more films like it, just scroll to the end. I've got it marked in the description. If you're looking for more films like it, because I try to give people recommendations based on if they liked the film I'm reviewing. This is directed by Logan George and Celine Held. Caddo Lake follows a small community of people who live on the bayou in Texas. Specifically, Paris, played by Dylan O'Brien, who works as he's like a lake dredger, or he like taking apart pipes and stuff. I don't know. It's not a job I've ever done, but that's what I got from it. I think he's some sort of dredger. And Ellie, played by Eliza Scanlon, she's like a somewhat rebellious teen who is like constantly fighting with her mum, and because of that, she has sort of, I guess, moved into her best friend's place. Paris is investigating the history of the lake, specifically the weird environmental shit that happens at the lake, because he thinks that it might have had a hand in his mother's death 20 years ago. As he's investigating, the community is rocked by an 8-year-old girl basically goes missing, and everyone's shocked by it. Everyone's trying to work out what the fuck's going on. Paris and Ellie and us get to play Sherlock Holmes as we try to work out what the fuck is going on. Like, is it gators? Was she murdered? Is it an alien abduction? That is what we spend 100 minutes trying to figure out in Caddo Lake. So if you like that sort of shit, this is a pretty good one of those. I felt like an adorable German Shepherd puppy every 5 minutes in this movie, because something would happen and I'd be like, what? Like, I just could not, like, I was just like, hang on, what? Who's that again? What's going on here? And Primer, this movie does not move fast, so you may find yourself get a little shitty at it or annoyed at it, at least until about the 40-50 minute mark. At least I did. However, take some solace, because it does give you resolution. Like, some movies don't, this does. I think this movie did a really good job at depicting the positives and negatives of living in a small rural community. Big positive, everyone knows everyone. Big negative, everyone knows everyone. All right? So, like, because everyone knows each other. Everyone was super helpful. Everyone's like, oh shit, we got to find her. Everyone's helping with the search. But the elephant in the room being, it's a small community. We all know each other. The odds are, if something happened to this girl, one of us did it. And that does muddy the waters beautifully in this. And yeah, I thought it was a really, really good little mystery film. I really enjoyed the setting. I fucking love anything set on a bayou. I find those areas so beautiful, and the lives of the people that live on them infinitely interesting. Like, people are taking boats to school, and they're going and exploring little mangrove byways and finding interesting washed up things that have. It's just, I love it all. I think it's perfect, the perfect setting for this story. I liked all the characters. You do end up getting all their backstories, and I was worried I wouldn't, because at the start you're sort of like lost a little bit, going like, who the fuck is that? What do they do? Why do you care? That sort of thing. But you do get it. It is drip fed to you through like contextual clues, but you do get it, which is really good, because you end up feeling for a lot of these characters. At least I did. The acting is really great by the two main characters. I thought they did a fantastic job. I believed them. I do think my MVP, though, is Lauren Ambrose, who plays Ellie's mum. I thought she was really good. She was like a tragically flawed character, and she obviously has a history of not being the best mum, but you can sort of tell that she's trying really hard, even though her and her older daughter fight a lot. And that's realistic, right? I've seen this scenario play out in real life, so kudos to her, because I think she really nailed that. The cinematography was fucking beautiful. I wanted to explore every inch of the swampland. Like I said, I love anything set on a bayou, and this just made me love it even more. There's also some really clever use of sound clues. There is a character that is constantly hearing this sound, and when you work out what's going on, you go, oh, that's what that fucking sound is. And it's really good. It's properly good sound design. I really liked that. There are a few things that irked me about this movie, though. One of them being, there is a special effect that I found, it's like a whooshing effect. I found it to be quite cheap, and it looked a bit tacky. Like, there are movies that have done that effect way better. So, I didn't like that. I wish they'd use it less. It's used heaps too. I wish they'd use it less. I don't want to say what it is because it might spoil it, but I just didn't love it. Also, while the setting and the characters are stellar in this movie, the plot points and story and twists of this movie have actually been done before. Like, I didn't know where it was going, and when I got to the twist, while it is a good twist, I was like, oh, this is one of those movies, because I've seen it before. So it's not entirely original, and don't go in expecting it to be like, this is a movie I've never seen anything like before. You will be disappointed if you go in like that. That being said, it sticks the landing though, right? Like, it is really important to stick the landing if you're going to do a movie like this, especially with a plot so intricate. And I think this does a really good job of sticking the landing. I found the ending very satisfying, and everything was wrapped up as neat as it could be. So if you do like twisty, mind-bendy environmental thrillers, this will scratch that itch for you. I think you should go in on Caddo Lake if you like that sort of shit. I recommend watching this if you love mind-bendy thrillers. Donnie Darko, Shutter Island, Memento could probably go in there. If you like those movies, this is sort of that vibe. If you don't mind a slow burn, as long as there's an interesting payoff at the end, this I feel like this paid off quite well. I feel like the juice is worth the squeeze for sure. If you love the setting of Swampland America, I fucking do. I love it. Fuck yeah, Gator Country, let's go. Big fan, love that shit. Give it to me. It's really well explored in this movie. I just loved it. What a beautiful setting. I would love to go there one day. I don't recommend watching this if you hate having to have a degree in theoretical particle physics to work out what the fuck is going on. Yes, this is like one of those ones where you're like taking notes and you're okay, so I carry the 1e. What did Einstein? What's the third law of thermodynamics? Like, it does that a little bit. It does explain everything somewhat at the end, but I mean, you can always look up a YouTube explainer after. I know I do that sometimes because I'm like, am I too dumb for this movie? You can tell me. I won't be mad. If you don't vibe with Shyamalan films, yes, he didn't direct or write this, but it could slot into his filmography quite well. If you hate slow burns, stay the fuck away from this one. This is very much a slow burn. If you like this movie and you want something that you probably haven't seen, like this is an underseen movie, but it is in the same vein. It's an environmental mystery. I highly recommend the 2020 film The Block Island Sound. It's just like a sci-fi horror directed by the McManus brothers. It's set on Block Island, which is like a fishing island. All the fish are dying inexplicably. So a marine biologist called Audrey is sort of called back home to the island to investigate. While she's there, her and her brother Harry notice that her dad's acting quite erratically, and he just fucking disappears. Like, he just goes. Like, they find his boat and stuff, and no one knows what the fuck happened to him. Like Caddo Lake, her brother Harry sort of gets obsessed with this, and he's like determined to find the truth, so he just keeps digging and digging and digging. And as he digs, the weirder it gets. I actually preferred the Block Island Sound to Caddo Lake. I think it's the better executed movie. I found it scarier too. So if you did like Caddo Lake, go see the Block Island Sound. Not many people have seen it. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. I really liked it. And if you like Caddo Lake, I think you'll like the Block Island Sound. It's fucking cool. Another one in this vein that is really good is The Endless by Benson and Moorhead. I fucking love Benson and Moorhead. I love all their shit. But The Endless is my favorite of all their films. It's about two guys who leave a UFO death cult. And once they leave the cult, they sort of find out that, hey, life on the outside is pretty fucking hard. They're working menial jobs. They're in this shitty little apartment. They're not having a good time. And they get a mysterious videotape sent to them by the UFO death cult saying, hey, just letting you guys know, we're out of here. Does that mean they're getting abducted by aliens? Does that mean they're going to kill themselves? They don't know, so they decide to go back to the cult because while they fled the cult's not like violent or evil or anything. They're sort of like a hippie type. So they decide to go back and say goodbye and work out what the fuck's going on. Upon their return, though, they realize that there's something very strange happening at the cult, and as the lads search for more answers, they get more questions. I love The Endless. I thought it was very funny, and I thought it was very well done. It's got a really, really intriguing mystery. Banger. Absolute banger. That's it. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any recommends, end of the year, so December, I start compiling my best of the year list. If there's anything you think that came out in 2024 that you think I should see, chuck it in the comments below, or I'm going to do a poll in the community tab. Flick over to that and just fucking post on it. I'm trying to get a good lay of the field before I make my list. I hate making my list and then someone being like, hey, here's this movie, and then I fucking check it out, and it's like the best movie I've seen that year. That has happened to me before. I don't want that to happen. So if you do have recommendations for 2024, let me know. Let me know what they are. What are your favorite films of 2024 so far? As always, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next week for another review. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever. All this standard YouTube shit. Help me get out there. I love doing this shit. And I'm trying to get my hand on some sweet, sweet free merch. I'm trying to get to the stage where production companies send me fucking merch. Please send me shit. I'd love it. Peace.